Hello, folks. Welcome to Morning Coffee with Maddog Merv. This is the, what do you call it? End of Daylight Savings Time edition. So let's see what we got on the channel today. Welcome to Morning Coffee. Maddog Merv today.
Got our French roast this morning again.
I wonder I'm a big fat guy. I mean,
And then
holy
they
cow.
I always had a schmear.
So he's probably going for bagels. His friends do.
Oh my gosh, I can't even believe it.
I have no clue.
And I got a bunch of chores to do. Oh, who wants to do that?
For those of you who it affects in the U.S., you did your clock back thing. Otherwise, you'll be getting me at the wrong time, I guess. I hate it. Most people hate it. I hate it probably more than anybody. It just really goofs with my system. And being old, you know, the whole going forward thing, that doesn't work real well. I like daylight savings time. Wish they would adopt that as the standard time here, but you know, Congress can't decide on anything, so I guess we're kind of stuck with this. Today's shout out goes to a channel called the Valor Vault. Valor Vault, kind of a cool name, but they do a lot of U.S. history stuff. Pretty neat. I like the way they put their stuff together. So if you're into history, military history, U.S. history, check it out. The Valor Vault. I gotta go shop for some better coffee. Whoa. I don't know what's wrong with this. It's like a Kona blend. Maybe it's just the creamer I got. I don't know. Whew. It's hot, but it's it's a little bitter this morning. So, speaking of which, we talked about the bitter end of the Halloween season for Maddog Merv, and that was building that Dragula, which wasn't part of the original plan. But after I got the tin, the commemorative tin, I thought, well, I've got the time. It'd be fun to crank this out. It looks like an easy project, and it was very simple. I just used some Tamiya gold leaf. In looking at pictures, of course, you look at pictures on your phone versus the computer. You know, you get different tone variations. And trying to come up with the real color, I had no desire to do it as it really was built or as it was restored. I just wanted something that looked good, was durable. And so the gold leaf, you know, looked pretty good. It looked like a pretty good gold for it. And turned out to be a good paint color for it. It was a very simple build, like I said before. The engine went together well, painted it up, and then you can barely see it, so, you know, good. You know, we discussed some of the problems with the kit in the video, but all in all, just a very, very simple build. And that surfboard contraption that comes on the top of it, I don't remember that from the Munsters. Probably was in there. I don't know. But anyway, I didn't build that, so it made it even faster. So anyway, I hope that was something you guys got something out of. And then we didn't do anything for the stash last week, because if you joined us for morning coffee last week, we talked a little bit about some of the changes, which I really like that new office. We'll go into that here in a few minutes. But we are going to have something this week on the stash. So for the main show tomorrow, I think we're going to do a piece on one of the old schools in Salt Lake. We haven't done an old school piece in a while. I haven't done a lot of studies with my old school stuff in a while either. So it's probably a good idea. Just we'll get it out and go over one of the old schools that's here in Salt Lake, or that used to be here in Salt Lake. But on the stash, we are going to have a kit hoarder stash this week. We're going to look at Trumpeter's 20-plus year old kit now. I remember when it first came out new, of the 1/350th scale USS Essex. I remember when they came out with the Hornet first, with the B25s on it in 350th scale. And that was just, wow, that was the coolest thing ever. It was huge. Yeah, it had some issues, but everybody was really excited about it who builds ships, particularly 350th scale ships. So then they'd come out with the Lexington, and finally the Essex. They started with the Essex class, and they've got like 3 or 4 different kits of Essex class carriers out in 350th scale that Trumpeter produced. And I wouldn't mind getting one of the longer hull Essex class. They do make one of those. I mean, they make like the Franklin, and I think they make the Hancock. The Franklin was that one that nearly sunk. It was so badly damaged by a fire. Anyway, we're going to look at the Essex itself this upcoming week. So, got something for the stash. If you want to check it out, I'd love to have you check it out. So Halloween this year was actually really, really good for Maddog Merv. I put a few finishing touches on some of the things around the house. We had good weather. That was the key. We had just gotten through a cold front that had moved in last weekend, and the temperatures were climbing out of the basement, literally. It was cold. But by Tuesday, we were in an afternoon high in the 50s. Lower 50s, but still, it was the 50s. So it was doable, especially with a jacket. I wore my pirate coat, captain's coat, and a wig, and I was plenty warm sitting outside. The weather was good. I had some of the grandkids over that day. Helped them get into their costumes. Some of my other older kids came over. They went trick-or-treating in the neighborhood, came back, and then we kind of had all the family together. Well, not all the family. We had a group of the family together for a very short period of time. So we got some pictures in front of all of the props, and there was a good-sized group of us. There's probably 10, 12 in the group, and the costumes, I was very impressed with what the kids had done with their costumes, or the family had done with their costumes. So I had this little bowl that my son had made with little bulbs on the side of it, kind of simulated an alien spaceship. I put an LED light strip in there and had that blinking. It was kind of fun. It went with the theme of the aliens in the front. And I just sat outside from basically 4:15 in the afternoon, just enjoying the ambiance and the quiet until about 7:15 that night, when I finally came in because I ordered a pizza. So it was a very fun Halloween. I only had about 20, 25 trick-or-treaters, which is a little higher than normal because I don't live on a main street. I live on one of those quiet little side streets, they call them. But ours doesn't connect to anything but another side street that will take you back to the main, to one of the main streets. So the only real traffic we ever get down the street is the people who live here, which is nice, or the few that come to visit for whatever reason. So it's kind of a quiet street and off the beaten path. So you're not going to get as many trick-or-treaters. I don't have all of the neighbors participate. There's only a few neighbors now that participate here. So why should the kids come down just for one house? So anyway, it was a great Halloween here at Maddog Merv's house. Since Halloween, I've been trying to get the decorations and such down, and more importantly, put away properly. Oh my goodness. And some of the things I've had to repair, because I want to repair them so they're just ready to go for next year. Because inevitably there's a little bit of breakage. Somehow just sitting on a shelf, they break, but they're like models. But anyway, between that and trying to get my office finished up, I've got, we had out here a globe that had LED lights in it that would glow different colors. And I've taken that down there. I've got the string lights that you folks saw down there. I've got a waterfall that with my black light, I have a black light on in there. And with that black light, I was able to simulate, instead of just water coming out of the waterfall, it looks more like toxic waste. It's a greenish yellow color that's running through the waterfall. Actually looks really cool. The kids love it, and I'll have to show you that technique of how I did it next time we're down there in the office. So it's pretty cool. I've been putting more ships on the wall. Unfortunately, when I took my Lexington down from here, that's been here for several years, a lot of dust on that flight deck. Somehow it shifted on the shelf it was on and tipped over, fell, hit the ground, and about 15 pieces. So I've got some work to do to get it back together and get it back on the shelf. I took the Alabama, which is getting closer to completion, and put it on one of the shelves. And I will be continuing throughout the winter to work on that particular project. So, excuse me, a few really neat things down there that the grandkids love it. That's become our quiet room, our quiet down room, meditation room, whatever you want to call it. So before bedtime, when the little ones are here, we'll go down there. I'll turn on, we call them the special lights. They can choose which color lights they want that night, whether it's red or green or blue, yellow, whatever. And then we'll turn on that world globe and the waterfall, which they love. They just have to go stick their fingers in it. And then I'll put on usually some music. My granddaughter likes smooth jazz, believe it or not. She also likes the sound of rain, thunderstorms. So we'll kind of alternate with that. And sometimes we'll have a story time. I'll sit there and tell her a story in that nice kind of a low light environment. My little grandson Finley likes to come down there, and he likes to watch a movie. That's his screen time. My granddaughter gets very, very little screen time, believe it or not. Finley gets a bit more because when he's with his mother, she has a device that he can play on. But when he's at my house, he doesn't get hardly any screen time. And this is his time to, watch a movie and settle down in this quiet, peaceful atmosphere before bed. So we'll usually be in there for maybe 30 minutes, and then it's bedtime. So the office has just been a really cool addition to my life. I knew that it would be, but having it there and having it come to fruition is just awesome. So anyway, folks, I'm going to let you guys go. I'm sure your sleep schedule's all screwed up thanks to this daylight savings crap. And I am going to finish putting away. I got a lot of stuff to put away still. So we'll see you tomorrow in the main show and the Essex class carrier on Thursday for the stash. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.